In recent times, when you do your press briefing, you try very hard to explain to us about the fact that this is measuring a past event, it's not a measure of cost of living and all the rest. And I just want you to, you refresh our minds again that when it comes to measuring inflation in Ghana, what goes into it?
Thank you very much, George. And let me say, we really appreciate this platform because one of the pillars for us is about statistical literacy. When people get to better understand how we do our things, the data that we have, how transparent it is, how accessible it is, then people feel very comfortable working with the data. So thank you very much for this opportunity. So we calculate inflation on a monthly basis, and we put the figures in two perspectives, either changes between the previous month and the current month, or changes between the previous year and the current year. We use three variables for the computation of inflation. These are prices, quantities that are associated with the prices of commodities that we buy, and the weight, which essentially connotes the importance that persons in Ghana attach to the different basket. When we are doing the computation, after releasing the headline figure, which is based on the consumer price index, we do...
And help us as we try to break the numbers down when you're talking about the headline numbers and all the rest. Help me out. What do you...
So the headline number is essentially the national figure. So with our last release, which reflected happenings in the economy for November 2022, the headline figure was 50.3, and which simply, and that is what we call the year-on-year inflation. So what that means is that we're comparing November 2021 with November 2022. And with a figure of 50.3, we say that prices of goods and services over the 1 year period have gone up by 50%.
And Prof, help me out again, because I'm trying very hard to break this thing down, make it more relevant to our viewers. Why is inflation not calculated from January that year to that month? Because then it's more relevant that often you want to do a comparison the previous year as being the base as time to be educated, and you look at what has happened. Why is it done that way?
So the beauty about it is that the data is available for all of us to calculate it using different time periods. But as a global community, we have standards for computing inflation. If you recall, I think a couple of months ago, the World Bank put out a report in terms of how food prices had changed between January and I think September 2022. And the World Bank relied on data from us. So although we do year on year and month on month, it's simply one, to satisfy the global standard, and two, a lot of us in our day-to-day operations look at it from a yearly point of view rather than a 7-month point of view, from an 8-month point of view in terms of reporting. But as I indicated, this data is available so that if you want to do January to September, you can calculate. If you want to do from March to October, you can calculate it.
But I asked that question because of the concerns about how relevant this data is. So for instance, if you're doing a comparison from November last year to this year, how relevant would that data be to what is happening right now?
But that's exactly why we do it on a month-on-month basis, and we always have just 1 month lag. So now the only month that is lagging is December. We've already collected prices for December, and by the 15th of January, we're going to release inflation for December. George, the other side you need to think about it is that once you are doing both year on year and month on month, you are able to look at it from two different perspectives. As I indicated, the year on year looks at November 2021 compared to November 2022. And the month on month will look at what has changed between October 2022 and November 2022. And that is what we call the month on month. So on a month on month basis, we recorded a change of 8.6% between October and November. And on a year basis, over a 12-month period, we recorded 50.3% between November 2021 and November 2022.
Help us